Welcome to the Traveler Podcast. Today, what are we talking about? The three T's. That's what I'm going to call them. The three T's.
Yeah, we are, but I noticed one of us is ready for Christmas and the other one isn't.
Well,
You don't look very festive today.
There's a story behind that.
What is the story? Are you a Scrooge? You're a Scrooge. You a closet Scrooge?
No,
Yes, you are.
because it's green.
Yes. You're a closet Scrooge.
No, there's no such thing.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, Chris.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Chris, Reggie.
Yes.
So today we're going to talk about giving, time, talent, and treasure.
Yes. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that a little bit.
The first question
Giving.
I think we have to ask ourselves concerning that is, why is giving
So important.
to our well-being?
Yeah.
And how does it make us a better human? Okay? Jesus says that it's more blessed to give than it is to receive.
Okay.
What's he talking about? Money? Time? Talent? Yes. 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 All three. I used to think it was about money.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. And it is. But it's also about giving of ourselves. And how can I possibly be more blessed to give to somebody and share than somebody giving me a gift? How's that even possible? Okay? I think that it has to do with your heart, right? When we give of our time, our talent, our treasure, how do we feel? Like, what makes us feel the best? Giving of our time, our talent, or our treasure? The least, for me anyway, is the treasure. The time and the talent are like, they're way up there. Because you're building relationships with people. You're helping people in whatever their situation is, right? And this is the time of year we think a lot about giving. It always happens this time of year, and Jesus died on the cross. This time of year is when we remember that, and all those kinds of things. And I think that it's so important for me when I give of myself, when I'm jumping in, when I'm helping somebody, when I'm praying for them or talking to them, counseling with them, listening to them, whatever that might be. And time. Giving of our time is like Mongo, right? I mean, so how many hours in a day? Yeah, think about it. How many hours a day are there in a day?
24.
Yeah, okay. We're
Times
starting
seven.
over.
Times 7.
Yeah, we had to start the episode over. Listeners and viewers, because I messed up on the calculation. So, how many hours in a day? I know you have to think about it. But how many?
24.
24. All right, here we go. 24. And how many hours in a day do we spend sleeping?
Let's go with 7 hours.
7. We're round to 50. So 168 minus 50, we're down to 118. How many hours a week would you say the average person works?
A week, 50 hours.
50 hours, all right. So let's see, we're 118, we're down to 50, now we're down to 78, right? No. Is that right? No.
18.
68.
60.
Yeah, 68 hours left.
Yeah.
Of course we do. We start with 168, we got 50 for sleeping and 50 for working. That's one. We're making this very, very complicated. We're down to 68.
68.
How many hours a day do we spend eating?
Hour.
Hey, you're cheating because last time you said like an hour. You said like an hour and a half, including prep time. So, but we'll go with an hour a day. So that's 7 days a week, hour a day. Okay, that's let's see, 3 an hour a day, hour a meal. That's 7, 21. That's 20. We're down to 48 hours.
48 hours.
Okay, now.
4 days.
Okay, so we have 48 hours left. 7 days of the week, we got 7 hours per day left of free time. What are we doing?
Family time,
What's family time?
hauling kids around, sports,
I
dairy
don't
events.
have kids. My kids are gone.
Gym. There's some gym time, and you got to physical health. There has to be
Exercise.
exercise.
Okay, how much? How much per day? Average. How many times do we work out a week?
5,
How many times the average person work out per week?
3
All right, we'll give you 3. And how long does it take you to do a workout?
hour,
An hour. All right, so that's 3 hours. That's nothing. That's a half hour a day.
half hour a day.
All right, so we got 6.5 hours left. What are we doing?
I mean, gotta watch some TV.
Oh, I didn't realize you had to watch TV. Is that some kind of a law? What do you mean I got to watch some TV? Where's that at?
Sports.
Is that?
Check it out.
What?
There's some
Got to watch
sports-
some TV.
sports. Sports in there.
Sports is sports in there?
Yeah.
All right, sports in there. So how much time watching sports and TV?
I would say 2 hours.
You're way off on that.
2 hours a week.
You're way off on that.
Way
The
off.
average, oh my goodness, the average person? Hey Siri, how much does the average person watch TV per day? 3.1 hours. Of
A
course,
day.
Siri's got to be right? 3 hours a day, the average person.
Ooh, I couldn't do that.
All right. Okay, maybe you can't, but that's what happens. That's the real world. So now we're down to 3.5 hours left.
Right.
Okay? What about this?
Oh, social media.
And this?
I have to do that.
You have to do that?
Have to.
Oh, I didn't realize you have to do that. It's like TV? Have to do that? These are choices you're making.
True. True.
Okay, so what do we put on for, quote, social media? Should we ask?
No,
Should we ask the almighty
Not
Siri
social
what
media. I'm
that
talking
is
about.
too?
I'm talking about the computer.
Yeah. Okay.
Well.
Not counting work. You can't count work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Facebook.
Are you
will-
awake?
Well,
Are
Facebook,
you with
listen,
me right now?
Facebook.
What are you?
will tell
Hang on. Are you
Wait,
with me?
I'm with you.
Okay, because you're like trying to commingle work with free time.
Okay, I'm just letting you know what Facebook tells you. Facebook will tell you every week how many hours you spent on Facebook.
Well, I don't have a Facebook account. We talked about that in
That's
the
true.
last episode.
But it's wrong. But it usually says about between 10 and 13 hours a week.
Okay. So do you want to go 2 hours a day on social media?
Sure.
Well, now we're only down to an hour a day.
Where is all this time going? It's crazy.
Well, I don't know. You tell me. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. What we do with it is up to us.
True.
All right. So we're picking on time. Okay. Let me read you something here. Okay. Because you know I like to pull up stats, right?
Let me see some stats. Analytics.
What?
In the sports world, they talk
What?
about analytics.
A purse world. What's a purse world?
In the sports world,
I
they
didn't
talk
hear you.
about analytics.
I didn't hear you. Okay. All right. So no amount of money ever bought a second of time.
That's common sense.
Okay? It is. To say it is, but in reality.
Gotcha.
So we have an hour a day, roughly, left over to do something.
Great.
Okay? Now, maybe my math is off because I zipped through that kind of fast. Are you keeping track? Am I okay on math? Okay.
Yep, from what I see, yeah.
All right. So that's Mrs. Producer over here, by the way. All right, so we have an hour a day left to give to ourselves or
To others.
to others. Okay? I'm not saying that, that we need to do like an hour a day. We need to do something. I mean, giving can simply mean today when we, at our break, we went over to Buffalo Wild Wings and you opened the door for me. That's a cool gesture, right? That's something that's small. That's a giving of some sorts,
I
right?
see.
And giving can just mean sending a note to somebody, you know? Not an email, but like a note, a handwritten note, you know?
Lost
Yeah.
art.
What's that?
That's a lost art.
It is. It's really easy to do this. It's really hard to do this. Because you do this, you got to write it. Then you got to get the envelope out. You got to put the letter in the envelope. You got to address the envelope. You got to put the return address on it. You got to put a stamp on it.
Correct.
That's a lot of work.
Lot of work.
But it means a lot, right? When my wife just recovered from surgery, she probably had 10, 15 cards on her way. Every one of them, you know, there was some handwritten note in some of it. Every day she's like, hey, did I get any cards today? Right? She was digging it, you know, and it's just the way it is, you know. So time. Time can be coaching. Coaching your kids' basketball team, coaching your daughter's basketball team, coaching Little League because you're good at it and your kids are gone. You know, you're volunteering at a food pantry or going to see some of the elderly, you know, at church, you know, and checking on them, making sure they're okay, raking their leaves, shoveling their walks, you know, whatever. Time. You know, when you spend time with people, that basically lets them know that you care about them. That's giving of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, the trips that we go on through Hope and Equip, this is real world. Blessed, more blessed to give than to receive. It isn't about the money, it's about we get to see people.
Right.
We get to visit with them. Last year, I went to Cuba. Last year, the last time I went to Cuba was, I think, March. And these two young men, they're now 17 and 19. I've literally seen them maybe 5 times. Okay? That's it. We see them once a year, sometimes twice a year. I would go see them and their dad and their mom. Okay? And I told them, I asked them, what's your favorite basketball player, NBA player? And one of them said Stephen Curry, the other one said Michael Jordan. I said, okay, next time I see you, I will get you a jersey. Okay? So I texted their dad about 2 weeks before we were leaving. I said, hey, you know, what's X? What's his size? What's X? What's his size? He told me. And I went there, and before, they didn't even know I had the jerseys. And the 17-year-old, Kevin, gives me this big hug and says, I missed you. I've missed you. Time. I didn't do anything. I just showed up. Time. So important. Time. Okay? What's the most important aspect of giving? People ask that all the time. Because they want cheat. They want cheat. What can I get away with? What do I not have to do? Right?
That is so true.
What do I not have to do? What's the minimum I can do?
Yeah.
And still be giving.
They get
right?
Yeah.
Okay? And what's the most important? I think that pretty much what I said. The most important aspect of these 3 is time, talent, and treasure. One is not more important than the other. You can't like cut one out and make up for it in the other one. Okay? Can't do that. That's cheating. That's like saying I'm going to tithe, I'm going to give on my net income, not my gross income. Before taxes. I'm going to give after taxes. No, you're cheating. You're cheating, right? So another thing that people ask, you know, all the time is, what's the most challenging or difficult to achieve? Giving money giving of your time, right, or your talent? Which one you think?
Talent. Really?
Here's the part all three of you are about to be blown away at. You ready? This is pathetic. Okay?
What?
Yes, pathetic. With a capital P. On average, Christians donate about 2.5% of their income each year, with only around 5% of churchgoers tithing at the traditional rate of 10%.
That's it?
Uh-huh. 2.5% is the average. And those that tithe, which is a biblical term, a biblical concept, Old Testament, well, that's Old Testament, doesn't apply to New. Okay, whatever. We don't need to get into that debate, right? Only 5% tithe. Why?
They're not being taught.
They're what?
They're not being taught.
Not being taught? I don't know. I think that we'll get into that one later, but I think there's a pretty easy solution to that. An answer. It's not solution. There's a solution, of course, but there's an easy answer to that question. So let's talk about ways that we can give of our time.
Okay.
Cite some specific examples in your world. See, I feel like things are reversing. All of a sudden, I'm asking the questions.
I would
Aren't
say,
you supposed to be answering the questions?
but I'm so,
You're so what?
into the conversation.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Well, do you have any questions over there or what?
Yeah, I guess I got some questions.
No, all right,
but
well,
you
okay.
just asked me a question, so
All right, let's
I'm
hear it.
gonna go in.
Let's go. What you got? Cite some examples of how we can give away our time.
I would say give some time to help other people in need.
That's very general.
I mean, it's the season for it, anyways.
Yeah, very general. Give me some specifics.
Give
our listeners specifics, not me.
helping the homeless, helping feed the homeless.
How do we do that? If you're right now in Bettendorf, where you're from, Iowa, where would you go to help feed the homeless?
Homeless shelter.
Which one?
There's a specific one downtown. There's a couple of downtown actually.
Okay.
You can also use the church to.
Sometimes churches don't have programs to help homeless or help those that are hungry, right? We have a food pantry at our church called Helping Hands Food Pantry, where it's literally like, here's the pantry, okay? I don't want to promote that, so here's the pantry, okay? So here's the door. Here's a grocery cart. You come in, there's the aisles, and you go out.
Okay.
You pick which food that you want, and there's quantities, versus giving people, here's a bag full of groceries, there you go, thank you very much, see you later, next. And this is it's just more personable,
Personal, yeah.
more relational. And there's all kinds of things in there. We typically give, the pantry's open 4 times a month, and we give typically 5 to 7 days worth of food, depending on the size of the family. Milk, eggs, produce, meat, and then some other staples.
And that's all donated, right?
Yes,
Okay.
it's all donated food, yeah. You pay for it by the pound, and then some people give money specifically for meat or one-time events for this or things like that. So volunteering at a food pantry is a great idea. Volunteering at a homeless shelter, another great idea, right? Or what about, what's the word? That might escape me. What about Big Brother? You familiar with the Big Brother program?
I am not.
Okay. You can speak.
Big brother, big sister? Okay.
So that's where you mentor children, don't you?
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. You take a 9-year-old who maybe doesn't have a father, that's, that's part of his life, or a mom that doesn't have part of her life. And you take them under your wing and you see them once a week. And you don't have to like buy them things or take them you don't have to do any of that kind of stuff. It's just
Give 'em the
relational.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, just relational. Yeah. So what other ways? Time.
Parenting, I think, is also
That's a big one. Parenting's a big one.
parenting is a big one.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? How about the audience? Coaching. Yeah. Coaching's big. Yeah.
Well, why does it? Because not everybody feels that way, but
Feels what way?
when you help and when you give, it makes you feel better inside. At least I do.
How could it not make you feel better? How could it make you feel worse?
That's a good point.
I thought so.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, man, I'll never forget the first time, the first time I ever coached. Shane, just a little bump. He maybe 6. I said, you know what? I can do better than these guys coaching. Come on. Really? I can do better than these guys. So I'm going to coach. So, and I am by no means any kind of an athlete. I didn't play really competitive sports. And yeah, I shouldn't say that. In high school, I wrestled in high school. I had a perfect record in high school. I forgot about that. Perfect record in high school. It was 0-4. My first wrestling match, I was a sophomore, and I was just a squirrely kid, And I thought, man, I am so tired. I'm just going to rest here for a second. Beep, got pinned. Well, yeah, you can't rest. You just, there's no resting. You get pinned, So anyway, but so much of at that age isn't about skills. Skills is probably 10%, I would say. You would maybe know more than me, Reggie, because you're more of an athlete than I am for sure. But 90% of it is just encouraging these kids and teaching them fundamentals. I taught the kids and I said, if you want to start, I don't care how good you are in anything else, but if you want to be the first 5 to start, whoever makes the most free throws, every day we're going to do free throws.
Wow.
Whoever makes the most free throws, they're starting.
What?
Because free throws win games, right?
That changes the game.
It does, right?
That's
Free
so
throws
true.
win games. And I'll never forget this one mom. She was fuming at me. Her kid was like, I think he was like 10. Doogie, he was like 10, 11. And I coached these kids for like 5 years, right? And she's fuming at me. She says, what are you doing? My kid's out there, it's like raining and drizzling, it's cold, and he's out shooting free throws. I said, good. She said, what do you mean, good?
Well,
I said, that's because he wants to start. He went on, he got a full ride scholarship to Northwestern, offensive guard. Yeah. But it's the fundamentals, right? And it's the time, and it's just spending time with the kids.
Yeah.
You don't have to be some great whatever. I was more of a motivator than anything else, encouraging the kids and things like that. But coaching is super important. Yeah. Okay.
What about treasure?
Treasure we're going to cover last.
You want to? Okay.
Let's talk about talent.
Okay.
Let's talk about talent. Okay? So one of the biggest things is, how do we share our talents when sometimes we don't even recognize them for
Ooh.
ourselves?
That's a really good question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is
I
a really
mean-
good question.
Here's my answer to that. Everybody is usable if they are available, showing up. If you're showing up, that in itself is a start of a talent, right? Because so much in our society, people don't show up.
Right.
They say they're going to do something, they don't. They say they're going to do something, they do it. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then gone. Showing up. Being usable means being available, right? And one of our episodes we just talked about was the Strength Finder test.
Right.
So what are your talents? you know. I remember in one of my episodes we talked about at the very, very beginning on mentoring. You know, my mentor, he had a rule. I give you 6 months. I can meet you once a week for 6 months. You get my time.
Wow.
1 hour a week for 6 months.
Okay.
Right? Lunch, breakfast, whatever. I will help you. I will mentor you. I will share with you. Right? And that was it. And in 6 months, someone else. And this is somebody that's participating, right? It isn't just like me sitting here teaching and me sitting here telling and teaching and mentoring. It's a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving and taking, you know, sharing our talents, you know. So what are our talents? I don't know. You know how many people are good with these? You talk about a talent, holy smokes. Think about a surgeon. Think about a brain surgeon.
Next level.
They are exceptional with these. They insure these. They're worth so much money because they're going to basically the core of our existence, right? And they're in there poking and moving around up there, man. So yeah, they're valuable. And the carpenters that I work with, some of these guys, it just blows me away. They're so good. Their ability to assess something and handle it, right? And women who can take just a piece of cloth and create this beautiful garment out of nothing. Mm-hmm. You know, I was in Africa last year. They said, hey, would you like us to make you something before you leave? I'm like, what do you mean? So we can make you a shirt, we can make you some pants. I said, yes and yes. They sat there with old school tape, right? Little pins and all that, and they measured me all up. And next thing I know, I picked up a shirt, a short sleeve shirt, a long sleeve shirt, and a pair of pants. And I'll fit perfect in one day. That's a talent. And that's a talent you can pass down, right? You can teach
Yes.
a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 15-year-old, those things, how to work with their hands.
Right.
That's an incredible skill. That's a huge talent.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
So, yeah.
Which one in your opinion you feel is the most challenging one to do?
For me personally, I think it would be probably the time.
Same. So
Probably the time. Yeah. I'll never forget some of the trips that we'd go on. Honduras, Cuba, Colombia, whatever we were going. People say, why don't we just give them the money so they can build a house?
That's easy to do.
Why don't we just give them the money? Wouldn't it be better to give them the money? I said, well, it's easier. Writing a check's easy, but taking a week of vacation, you only get 2 weeks, you only get 3 weeks, and taking a week of vacation and flying over to a foreign country where you don't get a lot of sleep sometimes, you're on an airplane, you're going through buses, you're in not the greatest conditions, you're not sleeping at the Ritz. I mean, you're not sleeping even at a Motel 6. You're sleeping at some challenging conditions. Sometimes the water, sometimes there's no water, you know. Mm-hmm. All these different things, that takes effort.
Yeah.
And that takes energy. And I'm so thankful for my very first trip that I took in like 2006. Because it'd be easy, but it changed my whole world. Taking that trip changed my whole life. Now, this next year in 2026, I'll probably go on, I think, at least 8. I'm hoping 10 trips next year. This past year in 2025, I went on 8. I mean, we have relationships with these people. They look forward to us coming. I just talked to one in Cuba the other day. This is real world stuff. This isn't just make believe. This is real world. He sent me an email with an update. They send updates every couple months. And he sends me an email, and I said, I got to talk to you about this. So I called him. And we talked for 20 minutes on Thursday. I said, what is the deal with the water? He said, well, boom, boom, boom. He starts going. I said, hey, cut the fat. That's the problem. I don't need to know about the problem. What's the solution? What can I do? Help me help you. What can I do to help you? He said, well, we think we have a water source because they're having some major, major challenges in Cuba with water, food, electric, all fundamental things that we take for granted, right? And I said, how can we help? Well, they have these bikes. They're like electric, and then they have like some cargo on the back, and I knew what he was talking about because we'd already done one for someone else. Basically, it's a tricycle, it's electric, except it's bigger than a tricycle. Just picture like a three-wheeler on the road going 80 miles an hour, where bikers and people that, motorcycle drivers, right? Except this, instead of having the two wheels and all the storage or whatever, it's this big, basically it's a bed.
Okay.
And he said, I can get the container, but we need something to haul the water in. And so that's something we're trying to provide for him. So, but that's the point, right? I wouldn't know that if I didn't have the relationship with him, right? And that's the time and the treasure. It's both. It's the time, the talent, the treasure. It's all, all of them combined. So that's for me. And it's easy to just write checks and not think about it and not get your hands dirty and not develop relationships with people. It's easy to do that and distance yourself. But it's a little challenging, a little harder, but way, way, way more beneficial to roll up the sleeves and get to know people. Yeah.
Get more out of it too.
More blessed to give than to receive. Yeah.
So treasure.
What now?
Treasure.
What about it?
Why? What are some ways you can?
Well,
do
I think
treasure?
that there's a couple things to think of. Treasure is, I still believe, it doesn't matter who you talk to. Yeah, you can say time and you can say talent and you can say talent. I'm telling you, in my experience, it's treasure. People want to hang on to that money. We, as Christian Americans, sometimes I think we're American Christians. We think too much about us and not about other people. The fact I just gave to you, 2.5%, that's pretty pathetic. 2.5%, that's pretty pathetic. Okay? Why? Because of the most misquoted scripture in all the Bible. Money is the root of all kinds of evil. No, it's not what it says. It says the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. I don't know what I can do to help. This is just people, right? I don't know what I can do to help. What's going to make a difference? It's just a little bit. It's just this. It's just that. And I need this. I need this car. I need this house. I need this piece of clothing. I need another one of these. I need something like this, I need whatever it is. I need to go golfing more. I need better clubs, I need to work out more. So I need better clothes to work out so I look good. It's always about
yourself.
Inward instead of the outward. I think that it's something that we can do that I would encourage people to do 100%. Before you give, you can vet them. Vet the organization. You can find out about them.
Okay.
Like, for example, I don't want to get in trouble because, you got to be careful what you say in this day and
When
age.
someone says, I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, that means I'm about to get in trouble. No, I'm not going to say it, but there's certain organizations, very, very, very large nonprofits, huge nonprofits, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. They get money every year. But 20%, 30%, 35%, 40% of their income is fundraising. It's getting more money. It's used for getting more money. Yeah, but if we didn't do that, then we wouldn't have, really? I don't know. Their staff, they're layered with all kinds of staff, with all kind of overhead. Those are things that you can find out readily available. There's a couple of organizations, I'm going to read to you right now, okay? A couple organizations that you can basically use to kind of vet some organizations, okay? Here what they are. One is called Candid, CANDID.org. And another one is called CharityNavigator.org. You can do some serious vetting with organizations within these two nonprofits that kind of vet other nonprofits. Some of that, if you want to go really, really deep, there's a little bit of a fee, I guess, to get into some of that. But, you know, like our organization is on there. Other organizations that we work with are on there.
Okay.
They have grades. We're relatively new, so we haven't participated in some of the things that we need to provide. We're relatively small. Open Equip is relatively small. But as it grows, we just had our first audit. If you've been given $500,000 a year or more and you're a public entity, you have to do an audit. We did our first audit in 2024.
Wow.
We're doing another one in 2025. I mean, somebody's giving you that much,
Yeah.
different people giving you that much per year, right? So those are things that we can improve on as an organization, but we haven't had to do that as of yet. But that's the point is, you want to vet people, right? You want to make sure that the people that you're trying to help are people you can trust and they're doing things that you want them to do. You know, they don't have all the overhead and all the expenses and buildings and all this fundraising and all this kind of stuff, you know. That's just a couple of opinions I'll throw out there. But the giving part is it's that old adage, right? And it's just so goofy. I mean, in my business, I can even imagine, I could literally be an addict, a junk dealer. I mean, I'm basically a deal junkie. I love the deals, right? I love the action. And I gotta really watch it because I just love it. I just love taking a blank slate and creating something. I completely dig that, right? But to what end? To what end? I mean, how much do I need to really have or make or earn or net worth and all those kinds of things? Enough already, you know? I take that talent, pick it up, and put it over here and help people more, you know? Mentor young people, classes, you know, whatever. We're going to be probably announcing something. I just talked to somebody today, one of our mission partners. I think potentially the third or fourth quarter of this year, we'll be bringing something to our market in the Chicago area. That'll
This
be
year?
life-changing. 2026.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, next year. That'll be life-changing. It's going to start in Nashville. They're going to use it as a pilot program. They've already done it once. They're going to do it on a larger scale. They're going to pick it up and start over here with us.
Wow.
So life-changing, life-changing. I'll be calling on people like yourself, other people to help, to use their talents, to teach people, you know, technology. They call it Thriving Skills Program, where you teach children, you know, 8-year-olds, 18-year-olds, how to mindset, give them an attitude that they can change their mind. They can change the way that they think about life, you know. Yeah, I was watching do you ever watch the 30 on 30 on ESPN?
ESPN, yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
Coach Mack from Colorado, do you remember that story about Coach Mack?
I did not, no.
He was a real spiritual guy, and he was a man of great faith. And in the late 1980s and early 1990, he basically was right in the thick of it. It's where Deion Sanders coaches now, right?
Okay. Colorado.
Right in the thick of it. He had recruited kids, right? Basically, and the kids were on there talking. They're grown adults now, 30 years old. So we were from the hood. We came into Boulder, Colorado, and nobody looked like us. There were 23,000 students. Only 400 were black students. So nobody looked like us. We didn't really have any teachers that looked like us, that understood our culture, understood what we were trying to do. And I lived my whole life, one kid said. I'd never seen a white person really. I went to a black school. You know, my neighborhood was all black. I thought the white people were like what you saw on TV. So for me coming into this environment,
Yeah.
it was totally different. Huge culture shock, right? And so basically they had to make a lot of adjustments, but they developed the coach, starting with the coach, Coach Mack, went to the city and said, you guys are screwed up. He said, we can't continue like this. These kids look different than us. They act different than us. We have to adapt to them, not them adapting to us.
Right.
You know, and that's the mentoring, right? That's teaching and trying to help people, giving of yourself.
It takes courage.
Yeah. Great story.
What are some talents you can share in your industry? Is that something that you can kind of pinpoint, like a talent?
I think that question could be answered in maybe, like I said, give me 9 months or so, and we'll have an episode on it. Because I'm anticipating that this is going to happen. And when that happens, I'll be able to put together a plan that's going to be incredibly helpful. I will say this, though. There in our town, in Rockford, Illinois, there's one home builder, who's black, and he's part-time. He just started like his first house. Okay? That's an incredible opportunity. Because a black contractor has an automatic connection, with a black family to build them a home that I don't have. All right? And our city, state, and feds have programs to help minorities
That's true.
that are being absolutely untapped. They're just being rolled over into the
Every
next
year.
year, and they're
Yep.
not being used. So that market is untapped.
Wow.
Great opportunities for that market. Yeah.
I've heard of the programs more from a veteran.
Yeah. Did you know right now, we got a couple minutes left, so if we need to wrap something up, you better hit me, but did you know that, this will really surprise you, if you are a Native American and you're a female, oh my gosh, that's a lotto.
What do you mean?
If you're a Native American and you're female, you're hitting two major, right? Females considered, minority when it comes to certain businesses and trades.
Okay.
And Native American, right? Those two are, combination of those two, they're like, that's a grand slam home run. There's certain federal jobs where you have to have a certain percentage of contractors on that job that meet that criteria. And so if you own, if you're a Native American and if you're a woman, either one or both, and you own a company that's a drywall company, right? Or a paver, right? A road contractor, or whatever it is that the federal government is building. And you have that, you're way above everybody else. You get preferential treatment. Yeah.
How is that even possible?
Well, ask our government, man. Ask Big Brother. Give them a call. Call 1-800-BIG-BROTHER. I don't know how it's possible. It's just the way it is. Those are facts. Those aren't something I'm just pulling up out of ask Mr. Siri.
I just thought.
Those are real, that's real world. It doesn't have to be 100%
Okay.
Native American. There's a certain percentage. I don't know what those percentages are.
Right.
So I'm going to give a preview. Next week's episode will drop probably Monday, because I think we're tweaking some things. So probably Monday, December 30th or 29th or whatever it'd be. And it is on, let me just read the title here. Let's see, what is it? Oh yeah. Goal setting that works.
Oh,
It
that's
is going to
perfect.
it's going to be a good one. To start the year off,
Start the year off, yeah.
it's going to be a good one.
All right.
Yeah. So,
All right.
hey, thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.
See you next week.
See you next week.